Hello there, Scorpio, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we're doing your January 2022 career and money reading. So we'll take a look at the overall energies in your career and money sector, and then we'll take a look with the tarot to get some more details about some obstacles that you might encounter. Interesting. These are being a little finicky. So let's see what else. They want them shuffled again. A really interesting. So I did your yearly 2022 reading, and I put that up about a week ago. And in that, we saw that you were going to have such a lovely 2022. Lots of joy, abundance, love coming your way. And your January 2022, there was something that may happen towards the beginning of the month, and that was going to be a disappointment, but it has a happy ending. And I'll put both of those videos, I'll link those at the very end of this video so you can watch them if you want to. But the reason I'm mentioning it is to see how that may come up in this. I think this is exactly what you had in your January. Sometimes life stings. Like there's something that's coming onto your path. Truth transcends illusion. You know, in your January general reading, there was a disappointment. Something was kind of like a sting at the beginning of the month. But the message there was really clear that you were going to see the silver lining. Whatever occurs here at the beginning of the month, even though it's very disappointing, a part of this is realizing that there is a silver lining to a dark cloud. And, you know, it says crow spirit, co-create with spirit. Recognizing, and this really did come out in your general reading for January, that, you know, this sting, if you will, is to help you recognize that the divine knows the plan, right? And sometimes what we think we want, you know, when it's taken away from us, we can be really disappointed by that. But it's because Spirit understands that there's something better for you. And at this time, you may not even know what that is, or think that it's possible, or something like that. And then it's something has to be taken away in order for this better thing to come in. Let's see. Okay, so it could be having to do with family, and underneath, discovery. For some of you, I kind of get a sense that this sting may come, you may actually discover a truth about something. I'm really interested to go to the tarot. So to get some more details about this, it could have something to do with family, or you could be in a family business, because this is your career and money sector. You could discover something. You know, for some of you, you could discover the truth about, or realize that a truth that you have thought about, for that was true, that you learned as a child, is not really true. It's just an illusion, because here we have truth transcends illusions. As if this disappointment helps you to open up to recognizing that some belief system that you have, or some belief, or some sense of worthiness in what your career and money sector is really just an illusion. And you're really seeing the truth, maybe for the very first time. Really interesting. I'm getting some very spiritual. You know, the dragonfly is transformation. Seeing things in a totally different light. So let's see. Yeah, Four of Wands here. Once again, that strong sense of family. It could have something to do with a home. Because we have family, and the Four of Wands is happy family, happy home type of energy. It's also twin flame energy. Now, I'm keeping this in the career and money sector. I'm only saying that because it could have something to do with your personal life, okay, or a romantic life, or a, family life, say you're married and you have children, something based on that is coming into play in your career sector. Now, one of the things I want to bring up, I'm getting called to say, is that, our relationships in our work sector often mirror our relationships in our personal life, family and friends. And it could be that something that is occurring either in your personal life or your work life is also affecting the other, because they are very intermingled. And then what do we have here? Your resistance is the hangman, not being able to see the situation in a different perspective, not wanting to see it in a different perspective, perhaps, or waiting to figure out the truth. There's an illusion here. I'm getting the sense that a veil is going to be pulled back. You're going to see the truth about something. And because of that wasp spirit coming up, both in your January reading and then here, I feel like it's going to be a truth that is going to be disappointing at first. At first, you're going to see how that plays out in a much better way for you down the line. It's almost kind of like a tower moment where, you realize something isn't true that you thought was true, perhaps since childhood. It could have something to do with like your career, your skills, your talents. Recognizing that you actually are more talented, perhaps in an area that you didn't know that you were talented in, or vice versa. Just discovering some new truth about yourself, about money, about your relationship with money. Your January reading was very much about your relationship with money. That was truly coming out. 10 of Cups. Your advice is 10 of Cups. It's so interesting because I really feel like this has something perhaps to do with your personal life in some way. So it could be a romantic connection, but I also get, because the family card here is here, something long term, something that lasts through the tests of time, something that is really dear to your heart, listening to your heart. The 10 of Cups can be a romantic relationship, but it doesn't really have to be. It's just something that's really near and dear to your heart. And then the outcome, Hierophant. I know the cards here really are kind of reading like a romantic love connection here, but the Hierophant is because I really get the sense that you are changing a belief that you've had since perhaps childhood. You're gaining, the Hierophant is about our beliefs, our core beliefs, conventions that we have about our life, how we think that the world is going to work. And a lot of times this has to do with religious organizations or education. Some of you may be going back to school to get more education, to get more wisdom. That, for some of you may realize what it is that you really want in life, and now you're taking action to go get the education or the experiences that you need in order to bring this into fruition. 8 of Swords, lots of anxiety about this underneath, not knowing which way to go, what to choose, but you are going to be victorious in this. So let's go clarify. Scorpio, really interesting energy for, January. Very positive. I know it, it seems like there's a lot of, you may feel a lot of anxiety, but I want to point out that all the cards on the table are really positive. The Ten of Cups, the Four of Wands, these are celebratory types of cards. And I think that that is the message Spirit wants you to, to really take away, that if there is a disappointment, or here at the beginning of January, or perhaps there was one at the end of 2021 for you, or sometime in December, not to worry. There is a silver lining to this dark cloud. There is something that is being transformed inside of you. Okay, so, wow, interesting. Okay, trying to decide where you're going to put your time and energy. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So with the Four of Wands, the Four of Wands is the happy home. It's also this sense of true stability, financial stability, balance in life, strong foundation to build upon. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, okay? Getting maybe a new, fresh idea about how to make money, how to make your life stable, how to celebrate life. This is about celebration, celebrating life. And really stepping into this King of Wands energy, this, willing to go out on your own. Thank you. They're giving, this sense that I want to have a stable life. For some of you, this is about your family because, this is kind of like a court pair. It's a king and a queen. It's this sense that if you're having conflict with somebody that's in your life, you may want the stability and the other person wants to go off and start some new project, some new job, a new career path, or vice versa. Okay. And this could be causing some conflict. You may be thinking about starting your own business, going out on your own. The King of Wands is passionate, inspired to go in his own direction. Gender doesn't matter. It's just that energy of, I got this idea and I'm going to go for it. And the Queen of Pentacles is kind of like, a little bit about, okay, but show me your business plan. What's the 5-year plan? How are you going to, get the funds to start this new business or something? And so I feel like if if you're relating to perhaps, I'm not seeing a lot of conflict. I think there's just some discussions, between you and perhaps another person in your family that, is wanting a little bit more stability, and you may be wanting to go out and blaze a new path, or vice versa. If it isn't relating to your family or a romantic connection, then both of these are you, right? And it's kind of like, okay, but I have a stable job right now, and I have a health plan, and I'm getting benefits, and, this is a nice grounded energy. And this is the part of you that is saying, yeah, but you got this opportunity. You can go, you got this new, new idea, new wand of inspiration, right? So it could be, if there's not a person, an actual person in your life that you're kind of having these discussions with, it's actually like within yourself, having a difficult time trying to decide, like, which, do I go or do I stay? Really interesting because all of the water signs have kind of had that energy of somewhat fear holding them back. I mean, that was Pisces and Cancer. So let's see what we have here. What's holding you back? Okay, so, oh yeah, you're really attached to something. Let's see, what are you attached to? Fear. Wondering if you have the strength to make something really, this is your dream come true. And then you have the Ten of Cups here as your advice. Wondering if you have the strength. Wondering if you have what it takes to make something come true. it is kind of interesting because we have that wasp energy. There is this ending. Something has ended, or you're afraid of something ending. You're the whole thing, once again, this energy of looking at this ending in a different perspective. What is the silver lining of something that ended in the past? Now, that could be, you say you lost your job for whatever reason. You lost your job, okay? And then you had to go take a job just to make ends meet, okay? Which happens, right? Um, and that was like a real disappointment. You may have felt, um, wow, here I have all of these certifications, degrees, or whatever, and now I'm working this minimum wage job, okay? But you had, it was a situation where you needed to do that in order to pay the bills, okay? Now, out of taking that minimum wage job, perhaps you met somebody that is now going to be a financial backer in your new business. Or you learned some skills about how to work with people, customer service, that's going to help you in your business on down the line. There's something here, Scorpio, a lesson for you to learn in something that sometimes when something is taken away and there's sadness to it, there's, oh my goodness, the Ten of Swords is really like that stabbing in the back. Like, I cannot believe I'm so low. Like, wow, like a fall from grace type of energy. But you're getting a different perspective, because what it did was it gave you a look at something. It may have even given you an idea for a new innovation, new invention, okay? Or a new product or a new service, because you had something taken away from you and suddenly you were put into a position that was completely different than where you were before. So you're having to take a look at the world in a different perspective. And out of that different perspective, what you're doing is getting an inspiration, an idea, something that you can do that is going to bring you balance and confidence and inspiration to move forward. The thing is that you're blocking this. This is your area of resistance. You're blocking this because here's the thing. You're concentrating on more, perhaps. Think about how this might fit in. You're concentrating more on what you have lost, or if you're thinking about making a change in your life, what you will lose instead of what you're going to gain. So it's a matter of shifting your perspective of this situation or just your mindset. And for some of you, I feel like it is, for some of you, you're trying to make a decision based on family, especially if you have children and you feel, like your career, your income helps to provide for your family, right? Which is most of us. You're keeping that in mind, but the anxiety here is what's holding you back. You're allowing either your obligations that you feel to your family or trying to please your family. Okay? And that could go back once again to your parents, to your siblings, to your grandparents. What do all of those people want from you, expect from you? And it's about stepping into this energy of what do you want for yourself, Scorpio? Not being so concerned about trying to please those around you. It's about what is good for you. Really, it's strong. Yeah. The Star. Okay, there's healing. You are having to go through this. Once again, that wasp sting is because you need to put away some illusion. Okay? There is some type of illusion. We have the Seven of Swords. You know, this is another sign to me of people pleasing. I always think the Seven of Swords is about us sabotaging what it is that we really want in order to make other people happy. It's almost like the sense that I have to apologize because I want to go and do this. And whatever this is your career money sector reading. So, what is it that you really want in your career money sector? Do you want to, be an artist? But your family has said, since you were a young child, that'll never pay the bills. So you've put this away, your dream of being an artist, because your family told you it'll never pay the bills, right? So you have taken this other job, gone on this other career path in order to please your family because it pays, or your family thinks it pays better than being an artist. But you've never been an artist, so how do you know how it pays, right? It's about taking what was the truth for some people in your life, or some people in your life now or in the past. It's about taking what you were told was a truth and realizing it's an illusion. That your truth for you, Scorpio, is your truth. And to step into that and not worry about following everybody else's truths. Their ideas of how the world works. You're creating your own rule book for how the world works. You're building your own conventions to follow. You're following your heart. And the message I'm getting here is not to worry about what's happened in the past, how you've held yourself back, how you have spent so much time trying to please others, and then in the end, not being happy with who you are or where you are in life, right? It's about not focusing on that. It's about forgiving yourself, being compassionate, understanding, well, I was just trying to make everybody else happy. And it's about stepping into that power of saying to yourself, Scorpio, you really did, you spent a lot of time and energy. You did a lot of good things. You did it out of love for the people that were in your life because you wanted them to love you back. You thought for some reason it would make you worthy enough of their love. But guess what? You're full of love. You are enough. You are loved enough. And it's time to just love yourself. Give yourself this cup of love. Step into this energy of being compassionate and forgiving of yourself. You don't have to ask anybody else's forgiveness when you want to go and follow your heart. You just say to yourself, I love myself enough that I'm going to go and follow my heart. And everybody else in your life might be saying, no, you can't do that. You're not going to make enough money. Look at Eight of Swords is coming out twice. But here's the fun part of the Eight of Swords. She has a blindfold on and her hands are tied, but she could easily take both off and see the truth, right? This angel is in this cage, but the angel doesn't even recognize that the top is open. The angel could stand up and get out of the cage of illusion and step into the truth. It's truly about you healing any of your, healing the disappointment that you have in realizing I have spent perhaps your entire life trying to please the people in your life, whether it is your childhood family, your family now, your own children. I have spent my entire life trying to please them, trying to build this happy home, right? Keeping peace in the home. I have spent my whole life doing that. But all I get is heartache. My heart's not happy. I'm trying to please everybody else's heart, but my heart is never happy. And it's not happy because you're not listening to your own heart. You're listening to what everybody else wants for you. You're shining your light. You're stepping into this energy of, okay, I'm not going to go out and try to hurt anybody here. All I'm going to do is follow my own heart. And when you shift into that, the universe is going to completely back you. It's healing this childhood wound when you step into the energy of truly shining your light, your beautiful light, and recognizing that you will be truly loved when you step into your true authentic self and follow your heart. Really interesting. Yeah. So with the Hierophant, okay, if you are really trying to go on a new career path, or you are trying to start your own business and you're going back and forth and you're trying to live by the old rule book that you were given as a child, right? You are transforming this. You are figuring out that their rule book doesn't mean that it's also your rule book. Their rule book may work for them, but your rule book works for you. And that's the part that you're getting into. So all your life, you may have been going back and forth between two careers. You know, you have the career that your family or friends or society wants for you, and then you have the one that you really want to go in, right? And you may have taken the career path that paid more or was more stable or whatever it is that your family wanted, and they only did that out of love for you because they wanted to keep you safe. Keep that in mind. And then what you really wanted to do was just a hobby or a side gig or something like that. Or you just didn't even ever look at it. That was the pinnacle you kind of put to the side. And every once in a while you'd bring it out. And then, maybe every Christmas you would give yourself some new paints and a canvas, right? And you'd paint for a while and then, but I'm not really an artist. So I'm going to put that away. And now it's the universe is saying, okay, we're showing you this. You're going to get a little sting. You're going to learn a little truth about the way the world really works. You're going to understand, and that could be even a conversation with, maybe over the holidays. Okay, you had a conversation with one of your parents, right? And you said, yeah, I always really wanted to be an artist. And then they said, well, why weren't you? And you may have said, well, because you told me when I was 8 that artists don't make money, so I'd have to get, I had to go to college and get a degree. And maybe even your parents say to you, well, why did you do that? You were 8. What? You lived by that rule since you were 8? And you're kind of like, what? Wait a minute. What? And they're like, yeah, well, when you were 8, whatever. All of a sudden, there's something that happens, a conversation or a situation occurs where you realize, I have been focusing on this pentacle and keeping this pentacle hidden for so long, and I got it wrong. You didn't get it wrong. There is no wrong pentacle, really, because the truth is that you chose this pentacle for some reason. And it led you down a path that taught you some lessons. You gained some experience, right? You gained customer service skills or something like that. Like, this was okay. Now you're going to switch to the other pentacle because you have learned the truth about you. You are taking one of the pentacles and planting it and putting all your time and energy and love into it. Nurturing it, allowing it to grow, and saying, I'm not juggling between two pentacles again. I'm going to choose one. And this may be causing you some anxiety, some internal conflict about how does the world work and why? Why did it take me so long to figure this out? Why couldn't I have figured this out so much sooner? But it wasn't on your path sooner. You're at this juncture right at the exact time you were supposed to be on it. So it's kind of like, the spirit. So spirit is saying, don't worry about how long it took you to get here. It's just, now's the time to make the switch. And look at this, King of Pentacles on the bottom. You are going to be wealthy. You are going to have, the King of Pentacles has everything he wants and more, so much so that he's generous to the people in his life. It also is a very grounded energy. Yeah, you're going to put down all of the doubts about which way to go and what to do, all of the internal conflict, external conflict that you have been attached to. You're putting that to the side. You're choosing which direction to go in a very clear way. The Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords, I'm sorry, she has the blindfold on again. It's kind of like, she has the sword and she can't see even what she's kind of like, swatting at up in the air. Not the Two of Wands. She knows exactly what she wants. And I love it in this deck because she's putting one of the wands to the side, turning her back to it, turning her back to one of the pentacles, and going for the one that she really and truly is in her heart, is where she wants to go. And that's exactly what you're doing, Scorpio. It's kind of like, okay, and being really grateful that it did take you so long to get to this point. I'm so excited for you, Scorpio. I can't even shuffle. Yeah. Like, I really do feel like this is an energy of, something that you have had since childhood, a thought about money or how to make money, or about how much money you make determines your value. Or do you even deserve money? Right? It's changing all of that. For some reason, I'm getting like a Band-Aid being ripped off, right? It's kind of like it's a blindfold. I think it's interesting. The blindfold keeps coming up in this. It's like the blindfold is being ripped off of your eyes and you are seeing the truth for the very first time. And it like changes everything, your entire thinking. Yeah, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. I think it is interesting that throughout this reading, that the fear, the Eight of Swords just keeps coming up, right? The Eight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, over and over again. It's all about you have been living your life out of fear. If I'm not a doctor, then my family won't love me. If I don't make this much money a year, my family won't love me. If if I'm an artist, then they won't take me seriously. In the end, what you're saying to yourself is, I'm going to live my life according to my own rule book. And if my family doesn't like my path, then that is part of the journey that I will encounter when I encounter it. But for now, I'm going to choose my path based on what I love and I want to do, and not out of my fear of making those in my life upset. Really, really interesting. Loving yourself, Scorpio. Making those choices based on loving yourself. It's difficult. I had to make that choice at one time, and wow. It's really scary because you're kind of like, who's going to fall away when I start making choices that are based on what I want to do in my life and not on what they want me to do? So, what can I do to make a difference? See, I feel like some of this is based on that need or your soul's calling to make a difference in the world, right? What keeps you up at night? What makes you cringe when you think about it, such as every ounce of you screams no more? Where can you create purpose out of your pain? Where can you create purpose out of this pain, out of this wasp sting? What is your purpose here? Make a difference in someone's life today, big or small, because all of it makes a difference. And I'll show you that. You may have a job right now where you feel, I'm not making a difference in the world, right? Okay, I'm making all this money. My family is really happy because, I'm making all this money and I can take everybody on a big vacation every year or whatever, right? And then all of a sudden it's kind of like, yeah, but they're happy I'm doing this, but I'm not happy. And I'm really not happy because I'm not making a difference in the world. Really, really wonderful energy here. Scorpio, I think, either if you have encountered this sting already or it's something you're going through right now, just really kind of sit with that idea of recognizing that this is something that you're going through that is opening your eyes, taking that blindfold off to the bigger picture of the rest of your life. Like, it's almost as if you're going through a portal, and you're going through the portal right now. But when you get to the other side, it's like, I just see like coming out of a tunnel. It's a huge wide opening and you're really going to step into it with so much love and joy. You have something to share with the world, and that's the message here, is that it's time. This situation is on your path because it's time. You probably have been feeling it for some time. Your soul has been talking to you, nudging you, right? And now it's like time. It's time that your truth is put out into the world and you step into who you really are becoming. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to leave it there. I do wish you so much love and light in this situation and all your situations. If you have resonated with it, I would really appreciate it if you would consider commenting, or subscribing. I'd love to hear in the comments how this might resonate with you. And I hope to see you again really soon. Happy New Year. Bye for now.